Say hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Alongside me, the legend himself, Mike M, the man, the myth, the legend, the pimp slap pod himself. Mike, it seemed like we both had some interesting evenings last night, huh?
Oh yeah, I got all the way after it last night. I found it, got it, took it down, and ready to go after it today. Let's get this card going, man. We got a full slate of baseball. I was pleasantly surprised when I started looking at it and diving into Capit. So let's go. It should be a great day today. You know, I'll say I appreciate the invite back, Jose, and shout out to the chat, you guys, Rick J, BJ, the whole crew. Justin McElvee's in here, Brad Summersell. My second appearance on Say Hey Plays, and I took a look at the record last time through. You know, so I finished 9-9. Not great, but I think I was up like 3/4 of a unit. And I saw we had two spots that were big dog opportunities. We could have been up almost 10 units had they both lost by a run in like extra innings. So it was right there, right on the cusp, and we're coming back today to rebound and rally. So not so satisfied with a 500 performance, but we're up units. So let's go.
Yeah, let's get after it here today, Mike M. It's a lot of fun. Right now I'm writing down Craig Wood's tweet to me that he told me the 99, 98, 97% money spots. And we'll talk about those here so shortly. And I had an okay day yesterday. I'm the king of pushes recently, Mike. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but I've just been making bets and pushing them just left, right, center. It's been very funny. I never tweeted out my performance from yesterday because I didn't calculate my units, but I had 5 bets, and I pushed 3 of them. Wow. And I went 1-1 with the rest of my bets. So it's pretty funny. I even had a live bet in there, Mike M. You know, I watched 2 seconds of the Red Sox game, and the wind was just howling. And I was like, all right, well, this obviously is going to be an under. And I said I got the under 5 at -120. And I was like, oh, I'm chilling. And then, of course, Kike Hernandez just throws a ball away, 2-run score. And I was like, oh, my God, this is sickening. I got a push, of course, so it's great. I pushed Washington Nationals first 5 money line there, which was okay because they were down 2-0, and then they scored 2. Yeah. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll take that one. And then Yankees Dodgers under 9, I pushed as well. Shout out to Rocco, by the way. It's funny enough, I was on the under, Rocco on the over. Rocco cashes his over, I push. Yankees.
You got the 8.5. Is that the number he picked up? Was the 8.5?
Yeah, I assume so. And he got that 8.5, and they got the run in the very last inning. The Yankees just got a meaningless run in the top of the 9th inning. So shout out to him there for cashing that. It was very funny. It was a 99% spot too, and we'll talk about those here shortly. Let's get after it here, Mike M. First game here, and you know we talked about this pre-show, Mike M. This might be a quick Say Hey Plays here because it's going to be a fun one because we know these teams, and I'm confident in our ability to cap these games. And yes, BJ is right. We have a game in 20 minutes. Let's get after it. This one, Cardinals versus your Pirates here. Miles Michaelis versus Big Dick Mountain, Rich Hill. Now, I need to refresh my splits here and make sure that I've got the accurate data here because I'd love to see how the Cardinals are doing against lefties recently because they're on a little bit of a skid, Mike M, again. And, you know, everyone knows how much I've been talking up the Cardinals as of late. I think they win this division, et cetera, et cetera. But their offense has been taking a step back. They're 4-6 their last 10, lost 2 straight, 2 against the Pirates, I believe here now. And, you know, I don't know. These Pirates are kind of hot again, I guess. 4 straight wins. They still have a positive run differential, shockingly enough. And I just hesitate on Dick Mountain, really. You know, it's a skip trying to get there with Rich Hill. Last 2 weeks, they're 14th against lefties, 121 weighted runs created plus, though. Only 77 plate appearances, but they're still smacking them when they see them. Full season, let's change that to right-handed pitchers real quick. They're 6th still, 117 weighted runs created plus. And look at that. Craig Wood, thank you as always for dropping these numbers. We appreciate this as always. This is 31% or 37% of the bets, 81% of the under there. I agree with you there. I don't know if you've noticed that too, Mike. The unders and these like peacock early morning games seem to be very profitable. I'd love to hear what you think about this game.
Yeah, so a couple of thoughts on it. I mean, it's the early action. I typically like to kind of get into that and then kind of go about my morning and get things rolling, and then come back and see if I picked up the W. And you're right on about these early games. I'm trying to find the stat right now. I think it's right here. So the under in these early games, 5, 12, and 3 over the last 20 games to the under. So, despite it being Kopech and Boyd, or I'm sorry, not Kopech and Boyd, but despite the matchup itself, we've got an under opportunity out there that's been hitting at a pretty profitable rate. What I did notice about these games, particularly this game, and the matchup is an interesting one with your boy Michaelis and Dick Mountain. So, when you look at St. Louis, stat that I came across for St. Louis here was on Sundays in a general situation with Major League Baseball, favorites coming off a loss are 24-1 overall when they're playing a divisional team. So strong trend to the St. Louis Cardinals. Michaelis is 16-2 in divisional matchups if they lost the previous meeting. And then you kind of couple that with Dick Mountain. Dick Mountain's 1-14 if the line's bigger than a plus 125. So, in the situation
1-14.
1-14 straight up.
Sure.
It's a minus 2.13 runs a game against the number. So the trend definitely suggests the Cardinals. I doubled up. I took the Cardinals first 5, and I took the full game on the Cardinals spot. I'm not going to touch the total in this case. I do think that kind of first glance, I would look at it and think, well, this has got to go over. And kind of that second take at it when you start digging into some of these numbers suggests that it might be an under situation. But I doubled up. I took St. Louis first 5 and full game. I wanted action early. We got it coming up. It was a good, strong pitching situation that I looked at against the division. And I thought it was an opportunity to cash. So that's my plays there, official.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on this game. I definitely do lean under, and I want to bet the under, honestly, but I think I'm going to pass here. Rocco liking Rich Hill over 2.5 earned runs there. I assume that's earned runs. Goldie over 1.5 bases and a Goldie home run there. Shout out to you there. Obviously, we know Goldie destroys lefties. Jeffrey Blue mentioning that the Cardinals struggle against the Pirates for some reason, and we appreciate all you guys. As always, Tori Coker, appreciate you, my man, for watching as always as well. Even though you're a Heat fan, I still appreciate you, my guy. Let's move on to Philadelphia Phillies versus Trevor Williams and the Nationals here. My guy Ranger Suarez on the bump, and this just felt like another easy pass game for me. I am actively rooting for Trevor Williams. Downfall. I will admit. So I'm a little biased now towards or against him. He had a shit start last time because he's a shit pitcher. 6 runs, but none of them earned, which is hilarious enough against the Dodgers. 5 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs there, and a loss. Last time before that was the San Diego Padres, who can't hit anyone, I guess. I don't know. 5 2/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs there. And let's get to Ranger, I guess, because Ranger's obviously the more interesting character in this developing story here. 6 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs last time out against the Mets. I think I had a first 5 under in that game I cashed. I can't remember now. It was a 2-0 win or 2-0 loss for them. But I cashed something in that game, I'm pretty sure. So shout out to him. But do I trust him here? I don't think I do, honestly. I would like to see him come back after a good start and pitch well here. I passed this game, unfortunately, too. But let me tell you, just be careful for those Washington Nationals, man. Because those Washington Nationals, especially against lefties, they hit them. Let me double check here. 16th, 174 plate appearances, 117 weighted runs created plus for the Nationals this year against lefties. And they're 10th best still in the league, 114 weighted runs created plus full season. So I'd be careful. I'd probably lean towards the Nationals, honestly, but I don't think I'm going to get to the window with it. What do you think here?
Yeah, so I'm a Philly guy, and the Phillies certainly are near and dear to my heart. But I've already cashed a couple of spots for the Phillies in this series, so I'm not so gung-ho to jump in. A couple notes that I did find that I'll share with you guys, in terms of some trends here. The favorite coming off a quality start as a dog in the game was an under. So pitched well in a quality start. Maybe that's where you're talking about how you cashed it in that 2-0 spot. 30-6 overall, 25-11 on the run line, and 24-12 to the over in that divisional rematch or divisional game spot. So it's a spot that definitely suggests the Phillies 30-6 straight up, 25-11 on the run line. The over at 24-12 seems to me like that might be the spot to play today. We should see some runs in this situation. For whatever reason, the Nationals just play the Phillies hard. And, it seems like they're tight battles. You don't see, maybe it's the Bryce Harper situation. Bryce Harper's maybe got those boys fired up on the national side of things, although it's a couple years removed from being a national himself. It just seems like they play tight. And for me in this game, what I did kind of come away with here was an RBI prop. I've got Brandon Marsh to get an RBI at plus 175. And the number that I found on Brandon was, let's see here, three in a row against the Nationals from an RBI perspective. So in a game where I thought there was going to be runs, somebody in the chat commented on the trend and the movement of the line against the Phillies, despite all the money's coming in on them. I've already made my money on the Phillies, so I just want to sit back and have some fun. I'm going to root for a Brandon Marsh RBI at plus 175.
I think I'm going to move on the Nationals team total over 3.5 minus 125. And to push your point there, there's a lot of former Nationals on this Phillies squad. It's quite funny. Their shortstop, obviously, former National, which feels like forever ago at this point now. I associate him with the Dodgers much more, I guess, now. Kyle Schwarber, obviously, as well. Very interesting that how many Nationals there are on the squad. But, I'll take team total over 3.5 minus 125. And like I said, against lefties, I think there's just kind of value with the Nationals. I used to say this about the Oakland A's, but they're a poverty franchise that should be moved to Vegas immediately and should stop playing baseball perhaps this year. But whatever. Let's move on. Next game, Red Sox versus the Rays here. Interesting games yesterday. First game, it was a weird line, obviously. And shout out to Troy, who cashed on the Red Sox yesterday. I was too safe to bet the Red Sox yesterday, but, I tried to get that first live under. We pushed. Rays took the second game, unsurprisingly. It was a close one, but that's what the Rays do. Taj Bradley, Tanner Houck here now. Taj Bradley actually started his career against the Red Sox. That was his first major league start against the Red Sox. He did fine. It wasn't anything like too impressive. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. His last start was a 1-0 loss against the Cubs at the Cubs. 5 2/3, 3 hits, and that 1 run was not even earned there. So shout out to him. He's been good. He's been really good. He strikes out dudes. He doesn't really walk guys. The most walks he's had in a game were 2 so far. So I respect Taj Bradley a lot here. But I'll be interested to see what Tanner Houck gives the Red Sox because, refresh my memory here. Yeah, he's coming off kind of a stinker against the Arizona Diamondbacks. 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs there. I'd like to see his bounce back ability here. And it's going to be a good game, I think, overall, because, I think this series is very important to the Red Sox because this is these next 2 series against the Rays and the Yankees are very much measuring stick games to see how good this Red Sox team is, because they've been playing a super tough schedule. They've been kind of 500-ish, whatever. But are they for real in this division is kind of what everyone's trying to figure out right now. So I'll be watching. I'll be interested to see here. He's pitched. Tanner Houck has pitched against the Rays twice, 1 in relief, or let's just say 3 times, twice in relief, 1 start. And his 1 start was a 6-inning, 7-hit, 5-run performance, 3 earned runs there. So I'll be interested to see how he does that today. But I guess I'm passing on this game, all things considered.
Yeah, this is an interesting series. Some numbers that I read that are kind of starting to regress a little bit were the AL East, when they're playing against the division to start the year off, they were going under in the AL East divisional matchups, like at a clip of 85%. And then when they played outside of the division, they were going over at almost the same clip, around 85%. This Boston Red Sox team's been hitting. They're getting, quality bat on ball and knocking them all over the yard. And so is Tampa. So, those kind of, to me, suggest it's an over spot. Although I did notice, in this situation for Tampa, when they're playing against the division and they're coming off of a win, they don't rally very well. They come back and they drop the next game. So, for me, I'm going to take a stab with the Red Sox here. And not only the Red Sox, but I'm going to go with a Justin Turner RBI as 170 as well. So I've got the Red Sox at plus money, and I've got Justin Turner at that plus 170 for an RBI. Game I think is going to go over. We're going to see some runs. Might as well be Turner that gets one of them, even if he is a designated hitter.
I know. I like him. Still. Don't you worry. He's playing the field today. He's good.
I'm questionable about the Red Sox after I saw the way that they celebrate their runs there. That I text you and.
No, I loved it. Me and Helga do it all the time now. Shout out to Helga.
The old Boston dick bumpers, I guess. But that's a strange way to celebrate. I don't know that I've ever seen it like that. But hey, more power to them if that's what helps.
How did you feel about the Dodgers celebrations last year, Mike?
Well, that was an interesting one too. I think that was, there's some creativity on those boys out there on the diamond, sitting in the sun all day baking, have nothing to do but sit around and think about how they want to celebrate. So, good for them. Not my cup of tea, but go get it.
Let's not mention the Red Sox connection there as well. Whatever.
Yeah, it's a Boston thing, man. That's how they do it in Boston.
Shout out to Boston. Let's move on here. Milwaukee Brewers, Cincinnati Reds. Why are the Reds favored here? I think this is this is another one of those spots, Mike M, that I've had a lot of thoughts about. Is there's just weird lines, etc. This is the last place team being favored against the first place team. I mean, I don't know.
They're terrible.
That's why I'm hoping the Cardinals get their shit together, Mike. That's why I'm hoping the Cardinals get their shit together and come back and win this division. And by the way, I forgot to mention, shout out to Billy Brisbane in the chat. His Billy Brisbane pod of the day, MLB pod. Todd Bradley were 4.5 strikes there. So shout out to him. And BJ giving me a no, Jose, don't do it backwoods kind of game. And Jesus, 86% of the money on the Reds. Why are people betting the Reds here? What are we doing? Torrey Coker like Milwaukee money line. Yeah, both these teams suck. I'm not going to bet this game. I'm passing. Rocco on Reds first 5. I don't trust either one of these teams. I think both these teams suck, and I both hope these teams lose somehow. So I pass.
Yeah, I think if I was going to do anything in this game, it'd be an over. The number's already moved to full run. It's juiced now to the under at 10. Just feels like this is just one of those spots. Yeah, absolutely backwoods. This thing, pass it. 86% of the money on the Reds has moved from open at minus 110 to a minus 115. So there's some subtle movement to the Reds there, some slight movement, but I don't want anything to do with this game. If I took the plus 1.5 on either side, I'd be paying juice and I'd still probably lose. So I'm going to pass in this game altogether. If I was going to do anything, I guess I'd probably go with Senzel RBI, but I'm going to pass in this game. Plenty of games on the card.
Yeah. Why? And JP is saying Hauser gets his shit pushed in and at Great American. Yeah, no thanks. As Markel is saying, I'm scared. Let's go to church and let's pass this fucking game.
No sense.
Interesting game here, Mike. I'm very, very interested in this game because Paul Blackburn, we talked about him last time. He's the king of the first 5 innings. He was the most profitable first 5 pitcher last year. Guys like Bobana were on him all last year. And we talked about it. And shout to Rocco. He made the bet. He took Paul Blackburn first 5. He cashed. I was like, why would we? Let's let him cook here and see what happens. Now again, and of course he cashed, easy money because that's what he does. Now we have Sandy Alcantara versus maybe his biggest foe, the king of the first 5 here. I don't know. I feel again, I'm scared again. I want to take Oakland first 5. I know Sandy is very good, but we all know that the Marlins. I don't know, it's just not as good this year, I guess, with Sandy. I don't know what it is with Sandy. He's just not pitching as well. They've won both of the first 2 games very handily. So does that inspire confidence? No. But Sandy Alcantara going 6 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs against the Padres doesn't. I mean, that's the Padres. No one's giving up 4 runs against the Padres right now, so that's not good. He gave up 2 earned runs against the Rockies, 4 earned runs against the Giants, 6 earned runs against the Reds. He's vulnerable here. So all that considered, I'm really leaning hard towards A's first 5 team total, or not first 5 team total, for A's first 5 money line here. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. And look at this. Craig Wood, 86% of the tickets on the Marlins, only 50% of the money.
But Craig, the numbers screaming to the Marlins though. It's moved 50 cents from where it opened. So despite the situation there, and there's more money coming in on the Athletics in this situation, that money movement makes sense to me. Because you're not going to see the Sharps aren't going to lay a minus 200 on the Marlins. They're not a minus 200 team. So, you're going to find that they're going to take a shot at the plus 160s, plus 170s. And that's where you're going to substantiate more money coming in. The bigger bets are going to be coming in on Oakland. So much to Jose, your thought process there, absolutely all day and then some would I consider looking at Oakland, not Miami. I've already gotten my money on Miami in this series. So when I look at the money, again, they're not going to see the Sharps dropping that minus 200. And here's a situation where, what's a lot of people are going to see this Miami game and they're going to say, oh yeah, it's against Oakland and they stink. Well, to get Miami in the first 5 minus a half, you're at minus 165, minus 170. That screams loss to me. Those are high juice numbers, and it just feels like it's a big trap spot. What I am going to do in this game is I'm going to take a shot with the under in the first 5 at under 4 plus money, even money at 100, but under 4 in that Miami spot with the thought process that, it's Blackburn and Alcantara. Both these teams kind of, I say from a Miami perspective, they kind of shot their load yesterday with the explosion of runs. What they end up with 11, 12 runs yesterday. So
I had the first 5 under, and they just would refuse to stop hitting. It was gross.
No, it was like right off the gate they were up like 10-0. It seemed like in the first inning. So I'm going to go with that Miami first 5 under 4, and I'm going to hope that Blackburn figures out a way to turn it on. But I'm not mad at that first 5 Oakland spot either. I think that's a good opportunity to catch some plus money, and you're looking at a money line on Oakland. First 5 is plus 195. What the hell? 2 for 1? I would take a shot at that all day.
Yeah, I already hate myself, Mike. I hate myself. I said I would stop betting this fucking team. I told myself I'm not going to fucking bet it. They suck ass. They're the worst team in baseball. Rick J dropping the A's something like 0 for 22 in day games. Yeah, have you heard the Tony Kemp stats, Mike?
No.
Oh my God! All right, I need to pull them up again because they have to be a little better from the last time we saw them. But Tony Kemp this year, in day games, was hitting like 63. It was something like he had like 1 hit in like 50 plate appearances in day games, and it was just the fucking funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, imagine the sun's out and you just know you're not getting a hit today. You will not be getting a hit today. Don't worry, Mike M. Don't worry. He's now 62 plate appearances, 53 at bats, 2 hits.
Oh man,
2 hits. 38.
God. He might just really get after it at night. He might really chase it down hard and have a tough time waking up the next day. That's what that sounds like to me.
That's tough.
I can relate. I've been there. But it also sounds like he's due. I mean, geez, if you're going to put money on a guy, that's the guy, right? What I keep waiting for is Oakland, as pathetic and abysmal as they've been, especially at home. I keep waiting now that they've got this land deal down in Vegas and everyone knows they're moving to Vegas. I keep waiting for them to turn it on, thinking, hey, I want to play in Vegas. I don't want to be traded and trade bait after the season when we make the move. I want to live in Vegas. No state income tax and all the rest associated with it. Those guys are going to make some bank down there, and they're going to be the stars of the town in the summertime because there's nothing going on. But as much as I keep thinking that's going to happen, they just keep finding ways to lose. And, you're getting touched up by Miami double digits. You stink. Terrible.
Yeah, like I looked at the score and it was like 10-1 in the 3rd inning. I was like, Jesus Christ. And that being said, Mike M, guess what? I'm doubling up on these fucking assholes. Oakland A's money line, first 5 money line, obviously. Fuck that full game bullshit. Plus 195. And I'm also going to be slightly safe as well, but this is also great plus money. Oakland A's plus a half in the first 5 inning, plus 137, almost plus 140. So let's see it. Let's see it. Arnold hates it, but Arnold, we're gonna ride and we'll fucking see here. I've bet on the A's 13 times this year, and I bet you I've won like 3 of those bets. So he probably has a point. But fuck this team. I'm betting on him yet again, and I'm gonna hope that the king of the first 5 innings, Paul Blackburn, can just take me and ascend me to glory. Paul, let's see it. Let's move on because that was a lot of time on the A's. Toronto Blue Jays. I know, right? Toronto Blue Jays versus the New York Mets here. Kodai Senga, Yusei Kikuchi. Obviously, my fascination for Japanese pitchers and baseball players will be heightened in this game. I'll be watching this game for sure. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe I just like Japanese pitchers, but I thought first 5 under here was my first instincts here. Mike, we all know Kodai Senga, a huge home run splits guy now. That's kind of what we just decided is his thing. Just a lot better at home. Kind of shit on the road. But I want to see how good the Mets are against lefties because we'll see. Because Kikuchi has had his moments, and shout out to my guy, Dennis Garcia, who was the captain of the Kikuchi train, kind of jumped off, kind of jumped back on. It's tough to back these guys every time, so I understand. But shout out to DDG there. 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs against the Milwaukee Brewers. And then those 2 earned runs came early, too. I was very angry because I bet the first 5 under in that game, I believe. And I think that was the Hauser start. And I was like, all right, Hauser can hold them together. And Kikuchi gives up the 2 runs. I was like, all right, well, I'm fucked. And then the Blue Jays come in and just dominate for the rest of the game and gave Kikuchi some breathing room. But I think he can pitch well here against the Mets, all things considered. I don't think I'll move on a first 5 under here. But the Mets right now, full season, 19th, 103 weighted runs created plus against lefties, which everyone's hitting lefties this year, which is technically bad, even though it's only 3% above average. Last 2 weeks, 11th, 97 plate appearances, 127 weighted runs created plus. So, yeah, I've stayed off. And Not Flush Allen saying the Jays offense would be sleepy yesterday, and look at the Giants. The 2 runs they put up as well. So shout out to you there, Not Flush Allen. Let us know what you think of always. But Craig Wood dropping a 74% of tickets and 79% of the money on the under here. So, I passed. And a lot of people looking to take the Mets here to avoid the sweep with the wind also blowing in Citi Field. I'll quickly mention that before handing it over to my guy, Mike M here. Yeah, it's howling in. 10-mile-an-hour winds going up to 11.5 throughout the game. First 5 under here, definitely a lean. And I don't know if I'll get there, but I'm thinking about it, Mike M. What do you think?
Yeah, with that wind blowing in, to me, it felt like it was an opportunity. I think it's got the most wind of any of the games today, and it's blowing, directly in. So I like the under in this game for a couple of reasons, not just the wind direction, but when I look at there's a trend that I saw here when it comes to, where did I write it down? Home favorites off of a back-to-back loss when they got 5 or more hits are 26-4 straight up, which suggests a Mets spot today. We're seeing some slight movement as well from a -125 to a -140 on the Mets with the cash coming in on them. Secondarily, in that situation where they've hit 5 or more times coming off of those back-to-back losses, it's 22-8 to the under. So I've kind of got an intersecting point for the under here with the wind direction. I see the number, and it's kind of creeping towards that under now at under 8.5 at -115. Kind of suggests that it's going to be a Kikuchi Senga showdown. And, we know your affinity for Japanese men. So it's going to be a situation where, I'm just going to look to see him go out there and shove. Let's see a low-scoring game, another 4-2 type of final. I would lean towards the Mets, but I'm going to take the under 8.5.
Yeah, I think I'm going to join you, but I'm going to take the first 5. First 5 under. I also kind of like a nerfy. Shout out to Justin McElvey for dropping those in there as well. You guys keep dropping nerfies, and I can just keep feeling the pull. I just want to bet one because, I kind of find them as the most fun bet in baseball. Just an exhilarating 6 outs. But yeah, I agree with Nutflush a little bit as well, that the under seems a little bit too easy. I'm getting a 4.5, which I thought was a lot. So I have it written down. I think I'll make it official. We'll obviously come back to it. I'm trying not to load up my card too much here, but we'll see. I have first 5 under 4.5, -115 written down. I will probably make it official, but we will come back to it at the end of the show. So let's move on. Angels Astros here. The Astros have just kind of been big dicking the Angels. this series, kind of flexing their muscles, showing who the boss of the AL West is. Now we've got Griffin Canning versus JP France. I don't trust either pitcher, but Griffin Canning has been low-key nice this year. It's been pretty shocking. I don't trust many dudes named Griffin, I'll be honest. But a seven inning, 2-hit shutout performance against the Red Sox may be coloring my glasses. He had a 6-inning, 6-hit, 3-run run performance against the White Sox. They got the win there. He's been fine. A lot of teams would take 6 innings, 3 earned runs. I just think the Astros are just flat very good, and I'd probably bet them in most any circumstance here. The issue, my God, we talked about this before. I really want to bet the Astros when they have a full lineup, meaning when they have Jose Altuve. And Jose Altuve felt that little, pull, a little oblique pull, it seems. So he's not in the lineup. I don't think he'll be in the lineup for a little bit. It's Dubon, Pena, Yordan Alvarez, Bregman, Tucker, Chas McCormick, Yanier Diaz, Jake Meyer, and Martin Maldonado lining up for them. And Trout and Ohtani both in the lineup for the Angels, too. That's really all you need to know there. So I passed this game, but I'll just be careful betting the Astros without Altuve at the end of the day. So nothing for me here. Mike, what do you think?
Well, first and foremost, I got to get a point of inquiry out here. How many guys do you know that are actually named Griffin? Doesn't seem like a popular name. You said you don't trust guys named Griffin. I mean, do you know more than one?
I do actually. I went
really?
to I went to middle school with one, and he was a weirdo. So yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, that's impressive because I had to double take it though when I saw his numbers. I was like 4-2. This guy must be a clubhouse favorite. With like the bats show up to play for this guy, and that they carry that 4-2 record because he's not only starting. I mean, he's got a carrying a 4.89 ERA, but as the starter to pick up 4 wins. They're coming out early for him and often. So I'm going to stay off of this game, but I do like this as a fun spot for a same game parlay. Like if you're looking to have a little fun here in the middle of the afternoon, some RBI props are very much live. You talked about Trout and Ohtani. Those guys are just automatic. You don't have to even think twice about them. Dubon at plus 235 for an RBI spot. Bregman at plus 155. Yordan Alvarez at plus 130. I mean, there's some lower priced RBI spots, but it's just because they're suggesting that there's going to be some balls flying out of the stadium. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Angels come back and win this one. They seem to like playing for Griffin. And, so if you're looking to have some fun, it might be a good same game parlay spot, but I'm going to pass.
And Morgan Spooner, a good point here by Morgan. I don't even know who spells Griffin like that. Griffin with an Is that even Griffin? Griffin? I don't know. That's weird. Shout out to you, Morgan Spooner. That's a good point. That's a very good point there.
Well noted.
Rocco Rogers liking Yordan over over bases there. So shout out to him. Man, let me tell you. Yordan Alvarez is probably easily the most popular person in Texas when it comes to baseball. And no one calls him Yordan. It's always Yordong. Just strictly Yordan Alvarez. And I was like, yeah, that's solid. Shout to him. He's going to be very popular here in Texas for a really long time. Let's go Cleveland, Minnesota here. And I remember someone talking about, when is Tristan McKenzie coming back? And I thought the same thing. When is he coming back? And hilariously enough, here he is. He pops up out of nowhere. Tristan McKenzie back in our lives versus Joe Ryan of all people. And wow, is this a hell of a pitching matchup for me here. I love Tristan McKenzie. Everyone knows that. But he's coming off a shoulder injury off the IL, 60-day IL too. So it's not like it was just a minor thing. And if you know any pitchers, shout out to Debbie Cab. Shoulder injuries are much scarier than elbows. So we'll see how he bounces back and pitches. He had 3 rehab starts in AAA, 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run on a home run there. 3 Ks, 1 walk was his last one. Sandwiched in the middle of it is 2 or 3 here. 4 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 home runs allowed there, 6 Ks, 2 walks. And then his first one was 3 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 6 Ks, 1 walk there. Minus or plus 134 is pretty high. I will admit, pretty high for Tristan McKenzie, but I don't really want to back a pitcher coming off of an IL stint, especially when it's a shoulder thing. And especially when it's my guy Joe Ryan on the other side. So I pass here. I'll be watching this game because this is going to be a good matchup here. And I'll be interested to see how he does.
It's interesting that the number opened up at 7. I mean, the books look like they were thinking right off the gate that despite McKenzie making his first start, that they are going to play well today. And of course, Ryan out there on the other side of the thing. The Twins-Guardians matchups have been, big time under spots. And, when you look at the situation for the Guardians, much like that guy you were talking about for Oakland, the Guardians during the day are an under team. They just like they must just go out and party hard at night, especially in a booming metropolis like Minnesota. They're out there chasing moose around, I guess, and elk and doing it all night long with a cocktail in their hands because they don't seem to come out and pop the ball out of the field during those day games. But I'm gonna stay off. Tristan McKenzie in an untested spot. The number moved from 7 to 7.5. I would lean to the under at 7.5, but I'm not going to get there with this one. Too many variables. The Minnesota Cleveland, man, I don't know if you've been watching this series particularly, but there's like late runs coming up to screw up spots left and right. So if I took the Guardians, Minnesota's going to score in the 9th inning to win the thing. If I took the Twins, Cleveland's going to come out early and ruin my day either way. So I'm going to stay off this game.
Stay off game for Mike. Nufflush asking what a team total would be for the Twins. I've got 3.5 minus 135 and 4 at minus 105. 4. Well, both of those are appealing. I will admit because
I'll make
again, shoulder injury, not the best. And Nufflush saying he's working on that team total over right now. Rocco liking Joe Ryan to get the win. Oh, man. Very interesting. And by the way, Craig Wood mentioning 54% of tickets and 49% of money on the over, and the line moves to the over there as well. Okay.
Yeah. Untested, unproven. Let's see what McKenzie does with his first start back and maybe have an opportunity next series to jump in on him.
Yeah, I'll write down Twins team total there.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I might get on that too. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm interested there, and I'll take the team total over 4 at minus 105. And I will admit that 3.5 minus 135 was very appealing, and that would be the most juiced play I've taken all year. But we'll see. We'll see here. Let's move on here. Good game that was, and I'm excited to watch it. Let's move on to a shit game. Rockies Royals. This game has just kind of been the opposite of whatever. The Rockies hit a lefty yesterday. That's how you know this series is fucked. I want nothing to do with this game. We can skip this game pretty easily. We can actually skip the next 2 games pretty easy because both these games are horrible. I like this. I want there to be more of these games. I want to put the shit teams against the shit teams and let the good teams figure themselves out. But it's like the play corner, Put them in the kids' table. Let them do their thing while the adults figure their shit out. Rockies, Royals, nothing here for me. Absolutely nothing. Mike M., what do you have here?
I tell you what, I feel like I lost 100 times on the series already. It's
right?
only 2 or 3 games deep. I can't catch the winning side of it. Kansas City is in a 48-9 spot for non-divisional game, facing a sweep when they were the favorite the previous 2. So it suggests they're not going to get swept. The line movement suggested as well at 68% of the bets and 68% of the cash on the Rocky side of things. As a public road dog, they're making it more attractive to bet the Rockies. We've got the opening line for Kansas City went from minus 120 to minus 143. Buyer beware. This is another game where I couldn't win on either side if I picked it. So somehow I would walk away with a loss either way on this game. So I'm going to pass.
Yeah, I just on those market numbers, I absolutely take the Royals here. But
yeah.
Let's not. Let's just move on. Let's move on from this shit game. And by the way, we appreciate you guys in the chat as always.
Yeah.
Drop your plays in because we obviously have nothing on these next 2. At least I don't have anything on these next 2 games. Tigers, White Sox, Kopech, Boyd. I want nothing to do with this game either. Why are the minus 180 almost for the White Sox here is insanity. No way am I laying that one, Michael Kopech. Not reliable. And Matt Boyd has not shown me shit this year, unfortunately for him. I've not had any moment of like, oh wow, Matt Boyd, he's been pretty good this year. are pretty good. His last 2 starts, 5 earned runs against the Rangers. Everyone's doing that, or I should say, everyone's getting that against the Rangers, I should say. So whatever. But 4 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run against the Royals. I don't give a fuck if you pitch against the Royals well. I don't care. They're horrible. So pass game for me. Nothing here again.
Yeah, shout out to the chat, guys. Craig Wood dropping some great numbers in there. Andrew G, DC Capper showing up on a Sunday with his Miami -1.5 spot. AOD. So you guys are talking about calling 1-800-GAMBLER, and if I was going to do that, I would tell them that it's a light up the Detroit Tigers spot, and anybody else that calls in needing a pick should be able to take the Detroit Tigers as well, because it's Kopech. He sticks. Some numbers that I have here specifically, the White Sox, interesting number, are 7 of their last 8 losses after they go to extra innings. So after they gas out through the extra innings, they can't find a way to come back and win. Kopech, after a loss, is 5-12 to the under as well. So I tripled up on this spot here. I took the Detroit Tigers first 5 plus 150. I've got the Tigers full game at plus 155. And I took the first 5 under 4.5 at even money at plus 104. So 3 spots for me in this game. It's a shit battle. I don't know if you saw, was it 2 nights ago? Was it Friday night? Did you see the way that the White Sox ended up winning?
The guy getting smoked in the face, the umpire? Oh, my God.
Catcher, it was terrible. His helmet popped, his face mask, everything came off. And it was interesting because the guys just kept running the bases anyways, and the catcher was looking down there to make sure it was okay. It was a weird situation to me, but I definitely took the first 5 under. I bet Detroit at some big scores here. Interesting enough, the last Say Hey show that we were on, I think it was Boyd as well, and they came through with a 1-run loss for me. So if you're looking to be safe, then take the plus 1.5. But I'm going to take an opportunity for the big scores at plus 150 spots. So Detroit first 5, Detroit full game, and the first 5 under.
Craig Wood also mentioning that all 3 runs scored in that game yesterday were on wild pitches.
Yeah. Oh, it was an ugly game, and that just kind of seems like this series is ugly. So I'm going to get in there. I'm going to ugly it up with them. Let's see if I can't make some money off it.
That's so funny. Yeah, I watched that clip. I guess I don't know how they got mixed up. But, there's not signs anymore. You clicking the button, you can hear what you're calling in the pitch comm. So I don't know why. Either the pitcher just went rogue and he's like, "Oh, I thought I heard curveball, or I thought the fastball, and it was a curveball," because that catcher didn't even make a motion to try to catch that ball. It honestly looked like they had a hit on the umpire. It just smoked them right in the face, just in the worst time. It was so funny.
He went down so hard too. It was like instantly down on the turf and or the dirt, and it was weird because everyone was kind of like, "What do we do? What do we do?" And the one guy just kept running and took it in and picked up the W. So
yeah, the catcher
hope that guy's okay.
He just looked down. He was like, "Oh fuck," and then the ball just kept rolling around. It was hilarious. So shout out to a weird ass game there. I hope that umpire is in concussion protocol now. Shout out to this series. This series has made us a lot of money. And it is the Rangers Seattle Mariners game here. Nathan Eovaldi, Bryce Miller, excellent pitching matchup here. Nasty Nate, 7-2 already this year. And we've mentioned this before, and I'll mention this again. Bruce Bochy, a very good baseball coach. Shocker to say that. Everyone's surprised for me to say that. The Rangers have an abysmal bullpen, one of the worst bullpens in baseball. But Bruce Bochy knows that. So they have the most innings pitched from their starters this year. And a perfect example of that was John Gray. I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was the day before. Goes 7 innings. It was a long-ass time. You don't see that happening around the league very often. And I expect if Nathan Eovaldi's cruising, he'll probably go 7-8 innings here again, because that's what that guy fucking does right now. He is going to be – I think he's going to be bet on until he gets hurt at some point this year. And Bryce Miller, I think, is just a dog as well. He's one of the best fastballs in baseball. I'm going to be very interested. I obviously won't be watching this game because baseball hates us and watch blackouts. But I'll be interested how Miller comes back here. He had a 4 2/3, 11 hit, 8 earned run performance against the Yankees. Are our teams starting to get a handle of the fastball? I don't know. I don't think so. I think he'll come back and pitch well here, even though it's one of the best offenses in baseball. I lean first 5 under here. What do you think here, Mike?
Yeah, I'm going to pass in this game. This is a big pass for me. This is a spot where I think I had the under the other day. They put up 20 runs. Left a bad taste in my mouth. Certainly walking funny after that one, and I'm not interested. I see the big movement. I feel like it's too late if you're looking to take Texas now. It's 35-cent movement on the Rangers side of the house. I wouldn't take the Mariners. They're not playing well in Texas right now at all, and they can't seem to get any runs in there. I'm going to stay off it, but good luck. I'll root for your under.
Yeah, Craig Wood dropping again, and Craig, this stuff is invaluable, so we appreciate you, my man. I know Nut Flush gave you a compliment as well, but I'll give you another one over the top. Need this shit. Helps us out a lot. It's 33% of the tickets and 66% of the money on the under here. Big bets on the under. I'm hoping that people are just looking at the Rangers and seeing them just smash kids and be like, you know what? Fuck it. Over. So I'm taking the first 5 under here. I think Craig Wood also just mentioned that he was taking it, but I'm doing a little line shopping real quick. But yeah, first 5 under, and it's 8. You get a 4.5. I have the 8 now, unfortunately. So I just get a 4. I would love to check Bet Online real quick as well, because I would have loved a 4.5. Nope. 4s across the board. Can I just change it on Bovada? I appreciate that part about Bovada. First 5 under 4.5 is minus 130 for me now. Very interesting. I will write that down. Craig Wood, are you on the is that minus 130 or did you just get it early here? I'm just wondering what you've got there.
I'm seeing minus 130s kind of across the books as well. I see a 4 out there at even money, but I see the 4.5s around minus 130.
Yeah, I think I'm willing to lay the minus 130 there. And it's funny, I mentioned the 3.5 or something. It was Minnesota team total 3.5 minus 135, and I was like, but minus 130, I guess I can lay no problem. But yeah, and he has minus 130 too. All right, Craig, I'm joining you. This makes sense. X's and O's wise to me, and the big bets are very interesting as well. And by the way, I put a large bet yesterday in on the over with 93% of the cash on the under and cash. No way am I going back to the well here after a 16-6, taking my money and running. That was the weirdest spot of the year. Honestly, I didn't understand it. I cashed on the over too, which was great. It was one of the better bets of the year because that was Turnsy's feed my kids play of the day, and I fed his kids, Mike M. How can you not feel good about that? That was one of my better plays.
You're a man of the people.
Exactly. I just didn't understand why in the world would there be so much money on the under when we had Brian pitching for the first time. I was just shocked. So I was like, yeah, we'll take that run. But yeah, it was great. First 5 under here. It's going to be fun. I cannot wait to watch this. And by the way, Morgan Spooner, the voice in the wind, going against Miller. Look at Miller's game. 2 good games. Oakland, Detroit. Astros lineup wasn't hitting. The Braves lineup touched him. The Yankees, Michael Jackson him. And so,
I'm not sure. What does it mean to be Michael Jackson?
I think you need to do some research there, Mike. But allegedly, Michael Jackson was innocent. Allegedly, he was.
He seemed like a nice guy. He had the petting zoo in his backyard. I mean,
Yeah, never land. But again, allegedly, he was innocent. So
allegedly,
I don't know. Who knows? And he's right. Bryce Miller starts. He pitched well against Houston, but like he mentioned, Houston wasn't hitting. 6 1/3, 3 runs against Atlanta. I'd take. But yeah, I'm going to be very interesting. And Craig Wood also dropping he got he'd. That makes sense. Let's move on here to Nutflush's game here. Baltimore, Los Gigantes. I'm going to be interested to watch this game. Minus 110 each way was a little bit of a surprising line. I think the Orioles are very good here. And I want to hear Nutflush's take on this one. Because I lean Orioles and I like Tyler Wells a lot. He's the one sinker ball pitcher that scares me to back, really. I don't know what it is, but it's a nervy thing here. So I passed on this game as of now. And by the way, I completely forgot 2 bets that I'm making here. I've already written down, and I forgot I mentioned them, so I'll go back to them here in a second. But Mike M, let us know what you're on in this game, if anything.
Yeah, I'm going to stay off this game as well. I hit the Giants. I had Baltimore the other day as well. So I mean, I've caught both spots in this thing as much as I want to at this point. You know, the numbers suggest, it looks like an over and a Giant spot, but I'm not going to get there. I mean, it's a nice number, but it's kind of minus 110 if you're going to go Giants, minus 105 if you're looking to take the Orioles. The numbers started at 7.5. It's moved up to 8.5, even though there's 85% of the cash on the under. So it does look like they're suggesting some runs. I'd be curious to see if Nutflush has a thought on the team total based on the lineup. Might be a little early to see the lineup itself, but nothing for me on this game.
By the way, thank God we didn't move on the first 5 under when we didn't move on the Cardinals. I didn't move on the Cardinals, I guess. 2-0 Pirates already. Sickening. But it's not even out of the first inning yet. So we'll see how mild. 4 hits. And that's the worst. That's the worst part about it. 4 hits, no walks. So can't even say there was anything there. And by the way, Craig Wood, again, thank you for the money as always. 43% of the bets, 85% of the money on the under, and the line moves to the over. That's very interesting. It's very interesting there. Let's move on here. And Nutflush, as always, drop your comment whenever you want to talk about the Giants. Let's talk Atlanta, and I put the Giants here again in my abbreviations, but it's the Diamondbacks here. Atlanta Diamondbacks here. Gallen versus Soroka, and I feel like a square here, Mike, and I know you're the king of being hip to be square. This feels like such an easy Diamondbacks first 5 minus a half spot, honestly. Because we saw Soroka go out there and get destroyed against the A's, of all people. And I think this is kind of a similar thing to what happened to Chris Sale. He didn't pitch for 2 years, and that was his first time pitching in a major league game. And I think he needs like 4 or 5 starts to get his feet under him again into pitching like a major leaguer, Mike Soroka again. So I think he gets crushed here again. I think maybe not as bad as last time, but I think he gets touched up here against the Arizona Diamondbacks here. So I'm going to look up an Arizona first 5 spot here, minus a half, most likely, because it's a little juiced. I'd love to hear what everyone else is on the comments, what you guys think about it. But this just felt like an easy, just a kind of a layup spot for me. Because, again, maybe Soroka is a little running off his reputation of how good he was. And I'll bring up the exact numbers real quick because I want to just remind myself of how bad he was against the A's. 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. Okay, I thought it was worse, honestly. I thought it was like 7 earned runs. But 4 earned runs, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 Ks, 2 walks. I still think he'll need the time to get his feet under him in the major league. So I like Arizona first 5 minus a half, minus 105 at some books. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so the Atlanta Braves officially offended me yesterday. I had a parlay going on Friday night, the live stream there with Razor and his last Friday live stream. Shout out to Razor Sharp Picks. Yep. And the last guy that I needed to have a RBI, a 5-leg RBI parlay for $16,250 was Austin Riley. And what does he do? Nothing. What's he do yesterday? Comes out, bangs an RBI out there. I think it was in the first inning. So officially offended me. It's going to affect my ability to unbiasedly view the Atlanta Braves. So I'm going to follow that Arizona first 5 minus a half. And I'm going to hope that Soroka gets the shit kicked out of him. And I'm just offended and insulted by the Atlanta Braves and their performance Friday and yesterday. Specifically Austin Riley.
That's hilarious. I think I'm going to be on Arizona first 5 minus a half here. I'd like to see the money numbers from Craig Wood when you can, but I appreciate you as always. And by the way, our guy Nutflush asking about a Giants team total over. I've got 3.5. I've got 3.5 minus 135, so not bad there again, and 4 at even money there. And that's an interesting one there. Very, very interesting. And, oh my gosh, wow. 58% of the tickets, only 28% of the money on Arizona. Really? Line's not moving really. That's shocking. That is.
Atlanta can eat the entire bowl of shit. Don't save any for anybody else.
Arizona first 5 -1/2 here for me, and Noli knows liking a first 5 under 4.5 here. Thinking that Soroka is going to get his legs under him early. All right. I respect Noli. So shout out to Noli there. And Gallon, NL Cy Young, and our guy, Rocco Rogers, also on the Diamondbacks as well. So shout out to you there. Let's go Cubs.
Every time you say Rocco.
Yeah, I refuse to call him Rocco. I don't know. I everyone will. There will be people in the chat every once in a while, and they'll remind me. They'll be like, "His name is Rocco." I'm like, I fucking know. I know it's Rocco, but I'm going to call him Rocco forever. If I ever meet him in person, I'm going to call him Rocco to his face too. So it's great. Shout out to Rocco Rogers. And by the way, Rocco just makes me think of Robert Covington. I don't know why. I guess it's obvious why, but I don't know why that's the first Rocco that comes to my head there. Let's move on. Last 2 games on the card. I've got really nothing on this one. I definitely lean Cubs here. Marcus Stroman versus the Padres here. 70% of the money on the Padres, and the line moved towards the Cubs. It's very interesting. Shout out to him there. I just can't. But why are people betting the Padres and Ryan Weathers? Ugh, that's sickening. I bet against Ryan Weathers last time out. Fairly certain I cashed that. And Marcus Stroman has seemingly started pitching a lot better recently. Went at Miami last time for Ryan Weathers, 4 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs there. I was on Miami, I believe, first 5, and we cashed that, I believe. So shout out to him there. And for our guy, Marcus Stroman, who I need to find real quick. There we are. Stroman went to complete game. Oh, my gosh. What a sicko. His last 2 starts have been incredible. Complete game, 1 hit shutout of the Tampa Bay Rays. 8 Ks, 1 walk. I can understand now, I guess, why the money's on the Padres, because I don't want to back a guy coming after that start. His start before was an 8-inning, 4-hit, 2 earned run performance against the Mets. 4-2 win there. His last 3 starts. He's pitched well. After a 2 2/3, 7 hits, 6 earned run performance there. I pass. I think it'll be interesting. And shout out to BJ, by the way. He just put 1,500 on the Mets. I think he's the spot.
Nice, man.
Shout out to you there. All right.
I like that spot, BJ.
Let's hear your take here, Mike M. A lot of people on the Padres, it seems. Craig went on the Cubs. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, the Stro show seems to be real. I mean, I was not in that guy's corner when he was shooting darts out there for Toronto. And, coming off of an 8-inning performance and then a 9-inning performance, it's hard to continue to back a guy that keeps going unreasonably long like that. But, he shut down the Mets. Okay, that's not such a big deal. Their kind of bats are hit or miss. But then he beat up the Rays as well. I mean, he just blanked them, right? A 1-0 game too, which isn't something I feel like you see very often. But something of note, and where I'm going to go with this game is the under. Weathers and the Stro show, but San Diego since May 2nd, 1-12 to the under when they're playing at home. So it's an under spot all day. It might even be a San Diego Padres team total under spot, but my play here is going to be the under. I'm looking right now, and I can get San Diego under 9 at -115 on BetMGM. So I'm going to take the 9. And if I was looking here, first 5 is kind of getting up there around a 5 or a 5.5. So I don't know what they're suggesting there. Is Stroman going to break down and get beat up? Is Weathers going to just puke his nuts up? I'm not sure what's going to happen in this situation, but I see a San Diego team total at 4.5. It's juiced to the under at -140. I'm just going to stay on that 9.
Interesting. Rant's saying the 9 seems high.
Does seem high.
And Rant's also saying he'd be a Cubs. BJ asking if the Diamondbacks line looks fishy at -140. I don't think so, just because I think Soroka still needs to get used to pitching in the majors again. And the Diamondbacks are good. Second best record in the National League. I think they have a better record than the Atlanta Braves, honestly. They're 35-24, tied for first place right now with the Dodgers, which is fucking crazy. And the Braves are 34-24. So that's, man. Could you imagine? Could you imagine telling someone like, a third of the way through the season, the Arizona Diamondbacks will be tied for first place in the NL West, and the Padres will be 7.5 games back. Jesus Christ. What a world we live in. Let's move on to this last game here, Mike. I'm excited for this one. And I'll shoot. I said I forgot some plays to list out that I'm on. I bet all of the 99% spots or 98% spots, 97% spots, the opposite side. Craig Wood tweeted me this morning and sent me Dodgers, Yankees under 9. Astros, Houston under. Motherfucker, did I write over or under that? I fucking can't even read my own handwriting now. Son of a bitch. But Rockies, Royals under 9 was 1, and I know a lot of people were mentioning that over, so that scares me. But I'm on under 9 minus 110, and I'm on the over there. Over Astros, Angels. Over 9. I fucking can't write apparently. So over 9 minus 115. So I'm on the under 9 here, and I'll recap my plays again. But those were all the 99, 98, 97% spots that I think honestly, I think we should just be fading outright personally. Again, shout out to our guy Rocco Rogers, who cashed on this over yesterday, got the over 8.5. I took the under 9. I pushed, he cashes. We all were kind of winners at the end of the day. So shout out to you, Rocco. I took the under 9 here. I like Bobby Miller. I like Bobby Miller a whole lot, and I think he's going to be very good. And I think Domingo Germán sucks. So I would also take the Dodgers minus 1 or whatever here, but under 9 my only play for this game.
What a good Sunday night baseball game, right? I mean, a great series, or should be a great series, a great matchup in the Dodgers and the Yankees, two of the best in the business. We should get a really nice look at it here. We're going to cover this in detail on Sunday Night Live with Jimmy the Bag. So I'm going to keep a little in the back pocket, but I will say for me, a play on this game is Mookie Betts to get an RBI. What a fun guy to watch, man, especially last game, not so great, but the 2 nights ago on Friday night, his stat line in the first inning, he was 2 for 2. He had 2 hits. He had 4 runs scored, and I think he had 2 home runs, if I'm not mistaken. So he was on fire, 2 RBIs at least, but he was on fire, and he continues to go. So his RBI spot right now is plus 185. So I'm going to take advantage of that today early, and then stay tuned for us on Sunday Night Live, and we'll give a detailed breakdown, and we'll cover that and the NBA playoff game as well. So a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it is today, huh?
Oh yeah.
Well, I admittedly I like my guy Torrey Coker, so I would like the Heat to be competitive in this series. But unfortunately, the Nuggets are going to win it 4. So whatever. But I shout out to my guy Torrey Coker. I hope that goes well for you. It actually makes me angry because the Heat did the same exact thing in the fucking bubble, man. They beat the Celtics in a hell of a series. They go to the championship and they all just fall apart and they fucking lose the Lakers. So it's very annoying there. I'll take Atlanta, or not Atlanta. I'm going to take -1 with the Dodgers. With Rocco there. Shout out to Rocco. He said he is 7 for 7 in his last 7 Dodgers games that he's played. So I'm taking -1 with him, minus 115 for me too. I can't wait to watch it. I'm also on the under 9 as well. All right. Let's recap these plays, Mike M. And I've got decisions to make here too. I am not going to move on the first 5 under in the Japanese Bowl in New York Mets, Toronto Blue Jays. I'm not going to move on that first 5 under. I am going to move on all these plays, and it's a girthy card. I did not anticipate having this many plays, but Mike M, here we are. Dodgers, Yankees under 9. Angels, Astros over 9, and Rockies, Royals under 9. So that is under, over, under. -110, -115, -110 there. Nationals team total over 3.5, -125. I've got the attitude today. Doubling up On your Oakland Athletics and Paulie Punchouts, the king of the first 5 innings, Paul Blackburn. This is going to piss me off when I lose these bets. I am going to be fucking infuriated when it happens. Oakland first 5 money line, plus 195. Oakland first 5 plus a half, plus 137. Arizona Diamondbacks first 5 minus a half. Minnesota Twins team total over 4, minus 105. Seattle Mariners, Texas Rangers is what I should say. First 5 under 4.5, minus 130. And Dodgers minus 1, minus 115. There. Long, hard card there. It's going to be fun. Mike M., what about you? What do you want?
Yeah, so I lit it up here, it looks like, today. So I've got this. We're already underway in St. Louis. I took the first half and the full game, so we're chasing early. We're down 2-0 in that one. But Phillies game, I've got the Marsh RBI, Red Sox money line, and Justin Turner RBI. Miami, I got the first half under 4. I do like that look at the Oakland spot, but we'll see how that goes. I've got the Mets full game under 8.5. I tripled up in that Detroit spot. I've got Detroit first 5 and full games that were both around plus 150, plus 155. And I'll tweet it out, of course. And then the first half under 4.5 was a plus 105 spot for me. I'm going to take that Arizona first half minus a half. San Diego game under 9. And Mookie Betts plus 185 RBI. Tune in later on today for the Sunday Night Live breakdown of the Dodgers Yankees, as well as the Heat and Nuggets.
It's going to be fun. Tell my father I said hello. Please and thank you.
Yeah, will do.
It's going to be a fun day. I'm already pre-angry about the Oakland A's bets. And by the way, of course, when we recap our plays, Dabby Cab comes in, and of course, the first thing you hear is me doubling up on the Oakland A's, and he does not like it. And I don't blame you. I hate it myself, Dabby Cab. But here we are. It's going to be a fun day, guys. Appreciate all you guys for joining us. It was a great show, as always, with my guy, Mike, here. Follow him on Twitter, at PimpSlapPod. Always dropping his hip to be squares and all that good stuff. You're still up units on that, huh?
No, I think I'm down 1.5 or 2 units right now. So I had a nice little cold streak over the last, week and a half or so. It was I couldn't pick 2 favorites to save my life. And I came back from a couple of days off and I'd spent the whole week catching up trying to figure it out. So it's all right. We'll get it back. We'll have another one posted today. Again, follow me on Twitter. I'll get all these plays out there as well. Jose, thanks for sharing the screen with me today and getting me up and Adam bright and early. Shout out to our chat. JPZ always, Vitalis, Rants, Mr. Vape, Talk Sports with JT. Guys, kill it, man. We appreciate you guys. We're nothing without you, so you guys know the deal. We appreciate your feedback, your comments, the jokes, and all the rest that go along with it. So let's make some money today.
Real Deal Prime asking how many cue cards I have in front of me. I don't have any, unfortunately. I just have my lovely note sheet, which is barren today. Real Deal, barren. But it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I can't wait for all the happenings of today. It's going to be great. Nut Flush, I appreciate you, my man, as always, for watching and having live chats with me. BJ, all you guys, Rocco, Justin McElvey, Brian, Justin McElvey and Eric Jones, the rivalry of a century. Shout out to you both. I appreciate you guys for watching, even though you hate each other. And Tori Coker, by the way, inviting me to the parade. And I should wear heat. Tori, if the parade happens, my sister lives in Miami. I'll do my fucking very best to go be there, and I'll hang out with you for the day, Tori. If the Miami Heat win this, I will go and hang out with you, Tori, and for the parade. And I don't know what would be funnier, Mike. Would it be funnier if I went in Celtics gear, or would I just be Heat Jose that day?
Boy, I mean, you're gonna take a ball busting if you wear some Celtics gear down there. You might not be able to wear that jersey again when it's all said and done.
Mike, I'm not I'm used to the ball busting. I will admit it. My balls have been busted once or twice before, so I think I've gotten used to it at this point. But we'll see. And Tori, let me know, my man. Let me know what you think it would be funny. So it'd be funny. Appreciate you guys. Parlay Angel, Brian Smith. All you guys are great. It's going to be fun. And he said I'm wearing a Heat jersey, so I'll be wearing a Heat jersey, I guess. So shout out to you, Tori Coker. I now hope your Heat win. Thank you guys for watching. Say hey to us on social media, and we'll see you guys next time.